Hey traders, market update time. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, quick market update. Pretty much nothing much going on with the markets. We had a small down day today. On the Dow Jones, you can see just basically just sort of rejecting off, and you can see here, guys, that on the Dow Jones, you can see that there's actually, if I squeeze this up a little bit more, you can see that this was in a bit of a triangle pattern, and you can really clearly see that we had this resistance, had this line through here, and the market was just rejecting. Let me actually do that again. Do it again, John. Do that again. So we had this resistance, had a lot of resistance through there, but look where we actually stopped. We stopped right there. But not only that, but we've had this line coming up through here as well. And you can see when you look at this market very closely. Let me bring up an arrow here for a minute, and I'll bring up again. You can see how that all this support level, support here, it bounced there, it bounced there, it bounced there. Now this here is there's a resistance point right there. It bounced off there, plus also now we've got this double trend line, and you can see this whole time this market's been respecting this line coming down. So you can see the reason why I've been bearish on this market, even in the last few weeks, especially in the last few weeks. And that's the reason why I say that I still have positions on to benefit from this market going down, because the Dow Jones is telling us something, guys. And I think this is getting very close to the last warning for you guys that think this market's just gonna turn around and go back up. Now, if it does go back up, then yeah, I'll be looking to get out of my shorts and get into some longs. But I'll be waiting for a proper setup and so forth, and a proper setup and so on and so forth. I wouldn't just go long. I want to go bullish. So as you can see, right, and that's what's happening right now. So if you get a really good clear picture of what's happening through there, you can see what's really going on, and we just rejected off that level once again today. So we continue to reject off this level at this sort of pennant here. So I am expecting to see this actually starting to flow down, and because we do have some sort of a bull flag happening right here. Something like that anyway. Yeah, so something like that. So a bit of like a bear, not a bull flag, a bear flag. So as you can see, we have a bear flag through there. It's hit resistance. It's hitting a lot of resistance, and now we should be rejecting off soon. And now I expect to see, maybe it's going to happen this week, because that's what it looks like it's shaping up to be. Is maybe we're going to get that big move down this week. So it may be this week, it may not be, but let's actually continue here. Same thing for the S&P. We just basically ran up, hit this resistance line, and come back down. Market is still bearish here, guys. Okay, so as I said before, I think this is the last warning for the buyers in this market, because the market is continuing to give you plenty of time to get out if the market's going to go down. Now, here's the two-side scenario. You've got to look at this, right? Risk reward. The first one is that if I'm wrong about this market going down, or if the market doesn't go down, I'm going to get out with a small loss. But if it does go down, it's probably going to drop hard, right? So if you guys that are long in this market, even if you do have stops, I think the vacuum is going to probably get you out probably a lot deeper than where your stop is. So you might probably get out maybe 2-3 times your actual stop, especially if we have like a Black Monday or something like that, or Black Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so you can see that that's what's happening through there. So I think, guys, if you are long in this market, this is the way you got to look at it. See, I'm short in this market, and if the market goes up and starts to break up, I'm going to get out with a small loss. Cool, I'm good. All right, but again, I'm not actually short this market. I've just got positions to short it. But anyway, and that's the analogy, right? Because I know if the market cracks down, it's going to crack down hard. But if you're long, if you're bullish in this market right now, and you're long in this market, and you think it's going to keep going up, what if you're wrong and the market does come down really quickly because, you know, it sells off pretty hard? well, your stop's likely to be so much bigger, and so much, your stop is likely to be just so much bigger than that. But see, and so therefore your stop is likely to be big, but and if you're right, well then you're right. You know what I mean? But what if you're wrong? See, I would prefer and the thing about this, if you're long, you get out now before it goes down, and you say, you know what, I'm just going to be done and dusted. I might be in a small loss, small profit, whatever, but I'm just going to get out. And the reason why is because if it does go down, I'm probably going to have a much bigger loss. And then what you say is, okay, I'm going to be smarter. If it doesn't go down and it goes back up, I didn't miss out on anything. I just waited for extra confirmation that this market's going to start going back up again. Makes sense? So that's the reason why, and that's what I'm looking at with the market itself. And it's been smart, intelligent about the way that you view the charts itself. So Nasdaq actually had obviously Nasdaq had a big gap up and is trying to fill this gap, which I think it will do in the next couple of days, maybe even tomorrow as well too. It'll come back down and fill that gap. Obviously SPY, the VIX has actually started to spike up a little bit. Transportation average actually had quite a decent spike in volume. So as you can see here, and you can see that it's trying to rally up. So it had this rally up through here, come back down, and it's trying to rally up, but it's just still it's struggling to move higher. We've got this Russell 3000, which is still in this overall big sort of topping pattern here, but continue to roll down. Again, if you go back to one of my silver videos, my silver and gold video, you'll see that I noticed before silver and gold came down, that was showing us via the charts that the market was very weak. So the charts are telling me. And so this is still very weak. And if we have a look at the Russell 2000, we can see that the Russell 2000 is much weaker than the Russell 3000. But you can clearly see that we're getting this overall weak sort of setup. And, and it does look like we have this some sort of shoulder, head, and maybe another right shoulder here. Or maybe that's something like that. You know what I mean? You can see that. So, but you can see how that even the Russell 2000 is very weak. You can see how it just came down and it struggled rally even up to its trend line before coming down and having the volume there. So, not really much going on with that there, guys. But you can see that again. There's this is the last chance. This is the last chance for the buyers, I believe, before something big happens. And if it doesn't happen, well, guess what? That's okay, because as long as I protected you, that's all I'm worried about. But the charts are simply saying, I don't know about that. So silver is trying to rally back up and rally out now above this resistance level, which is actually quite bullish here. We do have this sort of resistance line through here, so we are trying to close back above that, which would be a strong sign. We are potentially getting some sort of a divergence here now. So this could be a divergence sort of pattern. I normally like to see this, if I get red, I normally like to see the stochastics come down through here and then start to turn up. So give me a bit more. And if I see that as divergence, then that's the powerful play that I like to see. But you can see what's happening through there. We're breaking back up. And not much and obviously not much happening with there. And looking at gold actually had a nice rise today. You can see this little double bottom, and it is actually it's holding very strongly here, isn't it? Very, very strong. It's definitely holding that $1,200 mark strong, and it looks like the buyers are definitely starting to come into that. If we have a look at, let me go have a look at. So you look at GLD as an example. Lots of trend lines on that one, isn't there? So we had a look at GLD. You can see we're rallying, but this, this may be short-lived, guys, before it actually heads back down. You can see this setup. That actually looks quite weak, but you never know. And the same for the SLV. SLV, you can see that it's just, this is obviously where I got in. I'm still in this right now. Market bounced off, and now we're hitting a lot of resistance through here. So, does this turn into a bear flag and we head back down? If we do, we're probably heading right back down to this level through here. If we don't, if we break back above, especially this $17 level on SLV, then we have a really good chance of breaking to new highs for the year by the end of the year. Make sense? So if it breaks above $17 here on SLV, then I think we are likely to make new highs for the year by the end of the year. So very, very, very interesting stuff going on there, guys. Looking at UUP. UUP, I was noticing here, guys, you can see how It's continued to rally up, rally up, rally up, rally up, and an open high, and it came down and closed low with this little gap here, and we had a big sort of a lot of selling volume too. So again, guys, that is actually quite weak, especially when you're looking at the weekly chart there. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this weekly chart, especially when you're looking at this weekly chart. You can see where we're definitely struggling around that level there, and now we're making like maybe like a reversal type of candlestick pattern. But you can see that that's what's happening there. So I'm expecting a pullback happen soon, very soon in US dollar. Australian dollar is still holding strong. Still holding strong. The Australian dollar looks like it's getting ready for quite a big breakout. So remember, guys, we have now changed trends, and the buyers definitely have control right now. But again, that's the beauty about trading, because buyers in control right now doesn't mean buyers in control tomorrow. We had this lower peak, and now you got this higher peak. Now you got this higher trough. So you had this lower trough, and you had that come down, made a higher trough, ran up, made a high peak. Now it's making another high trough. That's looking very, very strong. And if you look at that in the result of, if you can see my charts, you can see that higher trough there, but you can see we're squeezing up into this sort of resistance line here. So that actually looks like it's trying to break up and out quite, if it does, and we get back above, we start to get like a weekly close above sort of 77, maybe, or so probably 78, then I think we could start to see a rise back up to around the 90 on the FXA, which is obviously the Australian dollar there as well too. A quick little update on Deutsche Bank there, guys, as well. You guys remember what I was saying before, that I was showing you that that it had a little rally up, come back down, and now we're holding here. The last update that I did, guys, it was somewhere around about here, like this last couple of days through here, and I said that looks actually quite strong. It did break out, so that resistance line there is nothing anymore, and you can see what's happening here. But it did break up, but is this going to follow through or is it not? It's definitely an interesting sort of pattern what's happening now. Now we're definitely breaking up and out. So there's a lot more bullishness that's happening around here right now. So something's happening with Deutsche Bank, guys, where the investors are liking it now more because something's going on. The charts are king. So you have this sort of support and resistance line. Support line. You can see how it broke through, now it came back up. And I was saying this before, but every time the market breaks down, we generally can't get back above that. And if we do, then that's sort of like, because you think about it, right? If the market breaks past this support level, you expect some follow through because that's weak. Market fund support. If it doesn't, and then you expect follow through, right? That's a continuation downtrend. But if it comes down and then rallies back up, now this area is likely to be support. We're likely to continue running back up. So that's what I'm seeing there on the weekly chart with Deutsche Bank. So there we go, guys. Quick little market update, or should I say a market update for you guys. Hope you have a great day. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course. And I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.